right. Hello to everybody watching, and thanks for tuning in for another episode of Inside the Cougar Cavern. Today, we have one of my favorite Cougars, Sergeant Ruffatto. Ma'am, why don't you introduce yourself?
Great. Thank you, Sherrod. I appreciate it. So again, I'm Master Sergeant Catherine Ruffatto. I am currently the 94th Commander Transition Flight Chief. I will leave that very simple, and we can just kind of move forward, and you can pull out more if you would like, Sherrod.
Okay, sounds good. Let me start with, I always ask everybody this one if they don't tell me. Where are you from?
The typical military brat, right? So I am a military brat. I spent some of my childhood in Maryland, some of it in Florida, a bigger portion of it in Ohio, and I mostly grew up in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Oh, nice.
Yep, and I was actually born in Germany. My parents were Polish linguists, so they were stationed out in Berlin. So that's actually where I was born before the rest of the whirlwind began. But Virginia is what I consider to be home.
Nice. Were your parents Air Force, or I know you said Grandpa was Navy. I see him in the background.
Yes. So Grandpa was Navy. My parents were both active duty enlisted Polish linguists in the Air Force. And then my stepfather, who entered later, was actually a 14 November, the equivalent of that time, and transitioned into the Air Force, I guess the historian's office, working later in that capacity for the Air Force historian. So
That's
he
pretty
was
cool.
an officer, yes.
So intel and military, all in the family business, huh?
Oh, yes.
Ah, nice. So you were destined to be a linguist.
Apparently, I fought it during my school years, but it just overcame and it won out, and here I am 18 years later. So.
Well, I'm glad, because that means I got to meet you and you're in my squadron, and I couldn't be happier. So what is something that you're certain that you'll never experience?
What is something that I'm certain I will never experience? Something I'm certain I will never experience. That is, there are so many possible answers to that question.
You only have to pick one.
I am fairly certain that I will not probably ever get married. This is not something that I have a strong desire to do. So I'm pretty certain that won't happen.
That's no problem, because I've probably done that enough for you. So we can, between the two of us, average out enough marriages.
Sounds good.
I was thinking walking on the moon.
I was sitting here going, well, I'm the kind of person who really likes to do everything. So yeah. I really can't think of anything that is without, or that is beyond my reach, to be honest. But you know, I'll probably never walk on the sun.
There you go. That's okay. A good one. Please don't, because I don't know that we could make it safe enough that we would keep you afterwards. So
we'll stick with that one.
I like it. Okay. Do you have any superstitions?
I really don't have any superstitions. I don't like to, I guess I kind of do. I don't like to voice things that I don't want to happen, if that makes sense. So yeah. I would never, if I were using someone as an example, I would never say, hey, if little Johnny ever breaks his leg, right? To me, this is almost bad luck to kind of vocalize things or say them out loud. So I guess that's a superstition.
Yeah.
And if I accidentally do, then there's the typical spit over your shoulder 3 times Russian, quick fix, right? And it erases all the bad.
That's a new one to me.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've thrown salt over my shoulder. But I like the, as long as you're not actually spitting.
You're spitting on the devil, right? So that's is you're shooing away those bad thoughts. So
I like it. Yeah, I'm kind of like you. I don't like to put bad things into the universe. Like I think I'm logical enough that I know that doesn't really make much of a difference, but still, let's not put it out there.
Yes.
So whoever little Johnny is, I hope you don't break
I know. Now I feel bad because little Johnny.
There's a little Johnny somewhere.
Just broke his leg.
I'm gonna get a call that Airman John Smith. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, this could go on for a while. Okay.
Oh, it could. We could be doing this all day, and I wouldn't mind. What is something people are obsessed with, but you just don't get the point of?
What is something people are obsessed with that I just don't get the point of? There are so many things.
I know.
They kind of go hand in hand, but I'm going to say two, even though you asked me one. So I do not understand the bathroom selfies that are taken and posted without looking at the actual bathroom background. Like,
Yeah.
okay, fine. You want to be in the bathroom. I'm cool with that. Maybe just clean up that background a little bit. I don't understand the obsession with the bathroom selfies. Which kind of goes hand in hand with the gym stuff. I'm a big fan of physical fitness, but I cannot wrap my brain around the CrossFitters.
Yes.
I do love physical activity. I'm into lifting. I like running. You know, I mean, I'm all about it, but I can't quite understand the eliteness, right, of this this group of individuals. No offense to my fellow fitness fans who just happen to also be into CrossFit. I don't understand it. It's like a cult to me.
So I agree with both of those very much. The bathroom selfies always get me when someone's sink is just covered in stuff. And it's like, there are a million other places you could probably take this picture. Because I have, spots in my house that are cluttered. And I don't think, you know what? My dirty bathroom mirror is a great.
The spots for the toothpaste?
Yes.
Like, at least you're brushing.
Yeah, good for you.
Your Tinder profile pic, we're good. But, yeah.
And then CrossFit. So I love lifting. I prefer power lifting, but lifting of all kinds I think is really awesome. What gets me about CrossFit is like you said, it's kind of like a cult thing. I really am against like the speed, because like form over speed, because people get hurt, and you take something that people have been doing for hundreds of thousands of years and you put it to time, and you take a bunch of pictures and get name brand shoes, and I don't get it.
Right.
People
We'll
get
take
hurt.
brand shoes.
Yeah. I got to pay for extra CrossFit shoes. I think, yeah, no, I'm with you. And sorry to any CrossFitters out there.
Exactly.
I just don't get it.
Nothing
You do you. Yeah.
I just don't get it.
If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
This is so crazy that you're asking me this question, because one of my airmen asked me this question yesterday.
Good.
Like, literally yesterday. And I was like, oh my God, this is so unexpected. So I'll give you the same answer I gave, which is probably not true. But there's a restaurant that I like. It's called True Food. And they have this amazing vegan pizza. So I am two things. I'm a huge fan of pizza, and I am a vegan / plant-based type of person. So the vegan pizza at True Food is absolutely amazing. If I had to eat one thing for the rest of my life forever, it would be that.
What are the toppings?
So it has the almond ricotta cheese, mushrooms, spinach, and I believe just regular olive oil kind of as the base or whatever. So it's very simple, but it is absolutely delicious.
It sounds really good. I am absolutely not a vegan. I like steak. Steak is probably my answer to what would I eat for the rest of my life would be extremely rare steak. But the vegan pizza sounds good.
It's delicious.
I don't have to have meat or dairy or whatever. Actually, I don't like milk. So that would be the one thing that I could do without. I don't like milk and cheese aren't really my bag. Really, it's just red meat. Well, that's it. I'm going to ask you another one because I feel like
wow. Yeah, that was quick.
You being prepared. We'll do this because I talked about this before I started recording, and now I know that you're cool with it. What's the best thing that you got from your parents?
Oh, the best thing that I got from my parents.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know how others may have answered a question like this, but I do often reflect on this. I believe that I got the best of both of my parents. My parents separated when I was very young, which is not emotional for me or anything like that. It's fine. Some people just aren't meant to be together. But my mother is very driven, very ambitious, a hard worker. She absolutely does not take no for an answer. She is just an absolute force of nature. and she impresses me all the time with her ability to just overcome anything that is put in her path. And I do believe that I got a lot of that quality from her, a lot of her qualities that make her a strong human being. And I'm so grateful for that. And I think it's because she almost forced it down my throat, right? So I'm very grateful. And she's not quite as good at the more emotional or nurturing side of things, but guess what? Here's dad to you. So my dad, my biological father, who I did not grow up with, he is a very nurturing individual. He is very sensitive. He's very compassionate, extremely empathetic. He is not judgmental. He's just a good person. Everyone that knows him loves him. Actually, he's pretty famous at Fort Meade. Both my parents, I've wandered the halls of the agency buildings in my past, and people will look at my name tape and go, "Ruffatto, are you Mary and Terry's daughter?" And I'm like, "Yep, guilty." And my parents were known in the agency as Terry's really, really super cool dude. Why is he with Mary? Because she's so like hardcore and just in your face. Now, I believe that those are the best things that I could have gotten from my parents. It's their personality traits. And it's a blessing and a curse on both ends. Sometimes I'm overly sensitive to a fault. The airmen can have me in tears with one sad story, right? And then at other times I come in so harshly that I have to step back and ask myself why why am I so over the edge passionate about this particular thing? So, but I am very grateful, and I think it's important to recognize that those are positive traits, and you should use them to your advantage. And they are what make me who I am. So, I hope that works.
That's the best answer I've heard so far.
Awesome.
I love it. And I looked down. We have a Boston Terrier. I don't call him my dog because I don't like him. I didn't want him. I tolerate him. He had surgery yesterday, and he now is sporting a cone of shame. So I've had to keep my eye on him because he's just like flopping around, melodramatic, like woe is me. And I
put him up in the bathroom and like have him take a selfie.
Yes, I should.
With his cone hat.
I'll be back to CrossFit.
Right.
CrossFit injury. No, not to take away. That was a great answer, and I think it's awesome. So as a parent myself, like I look to my mom and dad and see the same thing. I look for the positives that they instilled in me and how different they were and the great things that they had and how lucky I was to have, them around to be able to. My mom sounds like a lot like your mom, just completely ambitious, amazing work ethic, like great role model growing up, to take no crap from no one. Yeah. And I think I got that in spades. So I'll be good. But yeah, you're right. Like all those traits can be positive or negative depending on how they're used, but a good combination of all of them are great. So I think those are great things that you got from your parents.
I agree. I'm very grateful. Yeah.
I'm glad that I asked that question.
I am too.
And now I'm turning it over to you.
Okay.
So any parting thoughts, words of wisdom, all the Cougars listening? All
of the Cougars are listening. Well, first of all, in typical military fashion, but also just out of courtesy, thank you so much for doing this. For all of our fans out there, I basically asked the shirt to do this for me. I needed a little bit of fun and something light in my life. So this was really enjoyable for me. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this for all the airmen. I love them. So keep posting. As far as parting words of wisdom or anything like that, I really won't. I won't go into anything too heavy on the Air Force side. I will just say, since I have the attention of some people, just use some of those traits that I kind of just talked about, right? When you're dealing with airmen or not dealing with airmen, whether you're dealing with human beings or your pets or the Army guy who lives down the street, or the next door neighbor who's really loud in the evenings watching their TV, whatever it is, just don't be a jerk. We don't know what's going on in other people's lives. So if you want to know, ask them. and be compassionate and be empathetic, because we just know this much about other people. So I guess a recommendation is to just talk more, get to know those around you, ask them the questions, and just try to be a little bit more understanding when people have struggles, because everyone has struggles. So that's just a pet peeve of mine, when we get judgy. So don't be judgy. Be a good human being, and then I think that will come back to you in a positive way. So I don't know if that made sense, but that's how
I love it.
That's how I feel. So there's that. Period.
Good. And I said what I said. No, I love it. Don't be judgy. Be kind. Just don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Just don't be a jerk.
And wear your mask.
Ahead. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Thank you.
Yeah, that goes back to don't be a jerk.
I approve this message.
I approve this message too. And I appreciate you. I want to take a minute to say thank you. Usually I'm begging people like, hey, who wants to let me interview him next? So the fact that you volunteered was super great, because then I didn't have to worry about who the next person was. So to everyone else listening, hey, I want to interview you. Shoot me a text, email me, just let me know, comment on the Facebook post. But thank you, Sergeant Ruffatto. And I know I said we could do this all day. I love just chatting with you. So if I had to interview you to get 30 minutes of your time, absolutely worth it. I appreciate it. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Shirt. Appreciate it.